So what we're going to talk about now is pretty much like foods. We're going to talk about what are good proteins, what are good carbs, what are good fats. So this is what I want to tell you before we even go into like types of proteins, fats, and carbs. Everything depends on your activity level. All right. If your activity is not as high, then you're going to have to be a little stricter with what you eat. If your activity is abundant, then you don't have to be as strict. Okay. So we got to understand that. We got to understand energy in, energy out. That's very important. So if you do want to have things that aren't as good for you, you're going to have to do more activity to burn those off. So we have to understand that when you want those chocolate covered caramels that are 75 calories a piece and you eat 5 of them, then my spotty math isn't there, but that's a good amount. It's like, what, 500, not 500 calories, but it's like 400, 350, 400 calories, let's say. I don't have my calculator on me, but so is that worth me having to burn another 300 to 400 calories? So we need to ask that question, number one. And if the question is yes, then it's gonna be like, hey, what am I going to do that? And so my thing is I'm going to open up my activity more. I'm going to take my kids to the park today. We're going to go play wall ball. We're going to play soccer. And then we're going to go on the play set. Or I guess it's a play set, whatever the heck it is. And we're going to walk there. So I know right there, I'm going to burn it. No problem, right? I'll probably have an excess. But let's get back, because I got a little off topic there. Just understand calories in, calories out, energy in, energy out. So protein. So right now, good sources of protein, believe it or not, fish and seafood are the highest ones. They carry a lot of omegas, and I know some people don't like seafood. That's okay. But it gives you a lot of omega fatty acids. So it allows your brain to work better. That's pretty much what it is. So right now, if you're feeling like foggy brained and all the other stuff, eat some seafood, all right? And guess what's at the grocery store right now? Seafood, all right? There's a bunch of seafood there. And I'm not mad at it because I like seafood. But anyways, next on the list is just going into your leaner meats. So like your lean chicken, your lean turkey, your lean pork, your lean steak. So like it goes from like ground beef to like a filet mignon to your New York strip to, things that have less marbleized fat into it. It just increases that way. The other ones, vegetable-wise, edamame is very good. I'm not a big tofu fan. I feel like it's a texture thing for me, but you can have that. I just wouldn't recommend a ton of it just because it's high in soy and it can mess with estrogen levels. Other sources that have like a blend of fat and protein are like nuts. The cleaner nuts you can get are the best. So things that aren't salted or have like flavors on them, because that will encase preservatives and things of that nature. But your almonds are your best choice. You do your peanuts, your like the ones you want to watch out for. No chocolate covered nuts, unfortunately, but hey, those are good. But the ones you want to watch out for, like pumpkin seeds, are very high in fat. Cashews, pistachios, things like that. Those are the nuts you probably want to stay away from a little bit, just because they're a little bit higher in fat than the other ones. Now let's talk a little bit about carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, it's pretty much anything that's brown that has fiber in it. So brown rice, quinoa, there's different types of rices. There's whole grain pasta. There is whole grain bread. There's whole grain even bagels, things of that nature. There's also like Ezekiel bread, different choices like whole grain tortilla wraps. Those would be great right now because there's probably an abundance of those. The other aspect is if you're going to have more white carbohydrates or carbohydrates that are faster action, so like your sweeter things, your white pastas, your white breads, your donuts, things of that nature, again, that's where you're going to limit the amount. Okay, so think of it this way: if we're gonna have, um, let's go with like white bread, so quarter it off. If you have brownies, we're gonna cut that in half. If you have like donuts with syrup on top of it, you're gonna cut that in half again. So like the portion just goes down. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna have ice cream, it's gonna be a smaller portion, like things of that nature. But understand, you have to go back to the front principle of, if I eat this, it's this many calories. What am I gonna do to raise my activity to burn that many calories? All right, that's what it always comes back to. Same with people are drinking their calories right now. So I'm not going to go into that topic. That's another topic for another day. Alcohol and soda and coffee and all that other stuff. But we'll talk about that another day. So that's what you want to look for when it comes to your proteins and carbs. Fat wise, you want to pretty much lean on healthier fats from either vegetables. Most meats you have fat in it, so you don't really need anything extra. You do have to watch out for like butters, peanut butter, almond butter. They have all these different butters. They're okay, but it's not, again, the amount is the problem, not the, peanuts are good for you, but think about it. If you have a scoop of peanut butter, it's like eating 100 peanuts. So you wouldn't sit there and eat 100 peanuts and feel good about yourself, but you'll eat 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. You just ate 500 peanuts. So you have to understand the portion size has to go with it. Just like if you have orange juice, like if you have like a 20-ounce glass of orange juice, it's like having a can of soda. But that's like literally 30 or 40 oranges you just consumed. You just consumed them in a liquid way. And you never sit there and eat 30 or 40 oranges in a sitting, or people would think you're crazy and you go to the hospital because your stomach would explode. But anyways, that's pretty much the thing on the fats. I won't worry about that. Fats are really easy to get into in America, so don't put a lot of weight in that. I would just limit it as best as you can.